Hi, my name is Victoria Rodriguez. Today I'm going to be talking about coffee. 54% of Americans drink it every single day. It is something I can't live without. Being a mother, it is the only thing that keeps me chasing after my children all day long. I usually make mine at home, but occasionally I will enjoy a drink from Starbucks. However, I personally would get a bit overwhelmed once I drove up to the drive-thru to order something from the menu. I would literally just shout the first thing I saw because I was worried I would take too long choosing and hold up the line. So after a bit of online research, speaking with a couple baristas at Starbucks, and hundreds of taste tests, I now consider myself a knowledgeable, avid coffee drinker, a coffee connoisseur, if you will. According to the History of Coffee, an article published in the National Coffee Association's website, it is said that no one knows how or when coffee was discovered, but I am sure glad it was. And I hope by the end of my speech, you'll be able to choose a coffee beverage you like without having to think too much about what exactly goes into that cup of joe. So there are many types of coffee, making it overwhelming for someone walking into a relaxing setting, such as a cafe, and having to choose out of the many options. Drinking the same type of coffee every day can also be a bit of a drag. First, we'll talk about the 4 types of coffee roast, then we'll focus on my favorite type, a dark roast, specifically espresso. And lastly, we'll discuss a couple types of beverages made with espresso and what those beverages primarily consist of. So there are 4 types of coffee roasts. The first is a light roast. Light roasts are obviously light brown in color and are the preferred roast for milder coffee varieties. So when you roast these beans, this roast doesn't pull out any oil up to the surface. So because it isn't roasted long enough, it doesn't give the oils a chance to break through to the surface. A medium roast, this has a medium brown color with a stronger flavor than the light roast, and it isn't roasted long enough for its oils to break through to the surface either. However, it is roasted longer than the light roast. This roast has a balanced flavor and aroma, making it the most preferred roast in the United States. A medium dark roast has a dark, rich color, which does release some oil on its surface, and it has a mild, bittersweet aftertaste. And finally, the dark roast. This produces shiny black beans with an extremely oily surface and has a strong, bittersweet aftertaste. So before we continue with the information that you've just heard, can anyone guess what kind of roast is the most caffeinated?
Dark.
Actually, it's a light roast. So now we'll talk about espresso. Words cannot express how much I love espresso. I like it over ice, single shot, double shot. There are so many different types of beverages that you can make with espresso. Two of my personal favorites being a flat white and a dirty chai latte. So first, I'll explain how you make a flat white. A flat white only consists of 2 things, those being equal amounts of steamed milk and espresso. Starbucks has an amazing version of a flat white during the holidays. It's called the Holiday Spice Flat White. I recommend this if you don't like sweet coffee. It can be sweet if you add sugar, however, I prefer my coffee black with no sweetener. That's the beauty of coffee. It's all about preference, and you can make it however you like. So next, I'll explain how you make a dirty chai latte. A dirty chai latte has a 2 to 1 to 1 ratio. It is 2 parts steamed milk with equal parts of spiced black tea and espresso. I tend to make these at home quite often. It is definitely my favorite of the 2. I like this drink hot or iced. It depends on how the weather is outside. Now, the average price of an espresso-based drink in the United States is $2.45. Did you know that 64% of coffee consumption occurs during breakfast? I know most people have a morning routine which involves having a large cup of coffee. I am all for having a routine, however, I don't always like to drink the same thing every morning. Having options makes my mornings a bit more exciting. Drinking coffee doesn't have to be repetitive or dull. So make your morning exciting and branch out and experience unfamiliar flavors, the different smoothnesses each roast has to offer, and even the different temperatures, hot or iced. Whatever the weather, there are so many options to fulfill the coffee lover's dream. And if we're spending $4 billion to import it into the United States each year, We should be making the most of that money and trying coffee out in as many ways as possible.